I am the founder of Vegan Fit for Life, and I am so happy to connect with you. I was able to completely transform my life in a positive manner by finding the gym and by changing my nutrition so that I was eating appropriately for my body. And I am very happy and very excited to be able to share that with you. Thanks for joining us. Hi, I'm Coach Clarissa, and today we're going to go through a program for legs. One of my favorite things to train, but definitely one of the harder muscle groups to train. So we start out today with a split squat. Starting out with a split squat can be a little bit challenging if you're not properly warmed up, so please make sure that you've taken some time to warm up before just jumping right into the program. But if we start out with it, we actually are able sometimes to increase and do a little bit more weight than we normally could do because we're fresh, right? So a split squat aiming between 8 and 15 reps. For the purpose of this exercise, this particular placement with the foot is a little bit back, but we still should feel a hamstring and we still should feel glute. And again, working in that rep range of 8 to 15 per leg, depending on where you are in your fitness journey.
For this split squat, we have our weight pretty evenly distributed on the whole leg. So you want to have the knee stacked right over the foot, and then you're bringing your body down so that we have that nice 90-degree angle with the working leg. The back leg does nothing. You should feel no tension on it. You should feel no stretch on it. It simply is behind you for balance. So you're pressing through that front foot, the heel, the toe, the pinky toe. You're keeping the core nice and contracted. You're really trying to bring your body down so that that knee is bent at a 90-degree angle, and you're loading the quad, the hamstring, the glute.
From there, we move on to a dumbbell walking lunge. Again, that's going to be a little bit more quad focused because we're stepping forwards, right? So we're going forwards and the quad is slowing, it is what is in control of our descent. So taking your time with that, really working on balance, really working on breath. With walking lunges, you can do anywhere between like 8 and 40 steps. Depends on largely your level of endurance. Walking lunges are sort of also like combining a cardio aspect with your weightlifting.
So these are walking lunges. It's going to be primarily a quad-based movement. You can use dumbbells, you can use kettlebells, you can do them body weight. If you're using weight, you are keeping the shoulders back and down, using those lats and the serratus to really keep the weight on the backside of the body. We don't want it pulling us forwards. And as you move through the walking lunge, you're stepping forward, weight goes all into the front foot. You're pressing through the heel, the toe, the pinky toe, so the whole foot of that front leg to come back up. And then you switch out, you go to the other side, and you just continue walking forwards. So the working leg, you're going to primarily feel quad. As you're doing walking lunges, your toe or your knee is going to probably go past your toe, and that's totally okay, as long as it's not causing you pain. If it's causing you pain, you might want to get with your PT and see what's up with that. As you step forwards, you want to make sure that that front foot, that the toe is always in line with the knee. That way we're not twisting the knee and putting pressure on it. You should feel this a lot in the quads. You should feel your core working to keep you upright. As far as your breath goes, you're inhaling and then exhaling on the way up. That's going to help drive you up. That's going to help keep the core solid. With the walking lunge, you really want to make sure that you are engaging the core.
From there, we move on to a heels elevated Smith machine squat. So with that particular squat, it really is very much quad focused. It is a knee driven squat. It is not a hip driven squat. So we're coming down, and again, quads are in charge of slowing down our descent, slowing that eccentric motion. So with this one, do please take care of your knees. If it hurts, don't do it. Finding that a lot of people, when they use the heels elevated in a quad dominant squat, they generally have a better range of motion if there is a problem with ankle flexibility. So it can be a good learning tool for you if you haven't tried this particular version. Go ahead, if you haven't ever done this, try your first set without loading any weight on the bar. And if everything feels good and comfortable, work your way up, see where you are. And with the Smith machine squat, again, working anywhere between 8 and 15 reps. And really make sure that we are challenging ourselves. So if you hit 15 reps, no problem. Please load a little bit more weight on there and, challenge those muscles a little bit so that you can work on the progressive overload and actually build some muscle.
So this is a Smith machine squat, and we have our heels elevated. So that's going to place more of the load directly onto our quad. So when we place our heels up on the plate, we want to make sure that it's hitting like mid-foot, and we have most of our weight on our toes. And then we're just dropping down. It's actually a knee squat. We're not hinging. You can see that the spine's staying pretty straight, and we're just dropping down by bending the knees, putting most of that load on the quads. You're pretty stable because you have the Smith machine here, but we still want to work on our breath. We're going to inhale at the top. We're going to hold our breath, and then as we start to come back up from the bottom of the squat, we will exhale about a third of the way up. So we're really focusing on that breath to give us power and strength and keep our spine protected. But we're really paying attention to form too, and making sure that we're really pressing through those toes, really getting a good stretch on the quad, and then exhaling as we come back up.
From there, we move to our last exercise, which is the leg press. Big moves today, right? So leg press, the way that we have our foot placed on the foot plate is pretty much using the whole leg. So we are feeling a lot of quad, but you're also feeling hamstrings and glutes a little bit too. With the leg press, we want to really work on that full range of motion. Make sure we're bringing that weight down as low as we can, that we're not just, loading it up and moving the plate like 2 inches. That's not doing anything for you. So again, rep range here with the leg press, it depends on how heavy your leg press is. It depends on where you are in your fitness journey, but working anywhere between like 10 up to 20 reps is good. If you can hit 20 reps and you really want to back load some more weight and then try again until you find something that's challenging. But because it is a very safe machine, you can use it very smartly to really work on the progressive overload in a very safe and secure position.
All right, for the leg press here, we want to use sort of like a neutral foot placement. So about the middle of the foot plate, we want the feet just slightly outside the hips and your toes are pointed just very slightly outwards. So you're hitting pretty much the whole leg, the quad, the hamstring, and you should be feeling glute as well. You want to press evenly through the whole foot. Now, you want to inhale and really brace through the lower core. I don't mean push it out, but draw it in and make it super solid. And then as you're pushing the weight away from you, you're going to exhale. So inhale here, draw down into that lower core, and then push and exhale. That way we're not putting a lot of pressure on the pelvic floor, and we're really working actually to strengthen it and work with our breath. So you're pushing through the whole foot. We want to make sure that this motion is slow, that it's controlled, that we're getting, equal load on both the eccentric, the lowering portion, as well as the contraction. So it should feel pretty challenging, but we also should feel very stable and very secure. We do not want to feel the hips coming up out of the seat. We want to make sure our hips stay down, that our butt is staying in contact, or glutes, staying in contact with the seat, and we're not putting any pressure on the lower back or the sacrum. So inhale and then exhale. Grabbing the side rails will help to make you a little bit more solid. That's going to be just a little tip you can keep in your hat. And we really want to make sure that we have that load distributed through the whole foot. That way our heel's not coming up off the foot plate and we're pushing through the whole foot.
So that's what we have today for legs, mostly quads. If you do the workout, I would love to know what you think of it. Go ahead and drop that in the comments. But otherwise, be sure to like and subscribe so that you can continue to get our videos. And I will see you next time.